first off, what is the genre? The genre is actually fighting games, which is a genre that I particularly like and follow. And it's a genre that I feel has a strong community and a very vocal one. And it also comprises a fair size of like the console market right now. But the key thing is that I want to find a way to reinterpret it and make it more palatable for tablets. And so part of that is the intended audience would basically be people who are familiar with fighting games or people who have heard of them but are not sure and possibly trying to get new people into the community or into the genre, basically. Also people who are potentially just familiar with arcade games and looking for something new. So in trying to figure out how to reinterpret the fighting game genre for the tablet, I tried to focus on what I felt were the genre strengths. So personally, the genre strengths for me have always been like they have really cool casts of characters that you can select, and they're characters that you control and have very specific moves that you can sort of learn and identify yourself with. And of course, they have crazy, super crazy, like fantastical killing moves that basically really crazy and interesting and just really different, like a bunch of jet fighters in Police and Justice League. Also, in terms of gameplay, I really like sort of spatial manipulation and zoning sort of gameplay. You become very conscious of the space around your avatar and controlling that space and using it to both, keeping that in mind when both attacking and defending and playing against another person. However, I do feel like there are some barriers to entry to this genre that can be addressed when reinterpreting for tablets. One of the major barriers to entry, I feel, is there's a lot of memorization and, there's a lot of complexity that comes from like learning the system that I feel like is off-putting to a large audience, especially for people who are more used to simpler games on tablets. Also, there is the fact that it is somewhat of a mean and more sort of violent genre where you are essentially fighting another person. You'll eventually have to KO them or knock them out, and that can be somewhat off-putting and for some people. So how to address these things? How to break down these barriers, per se? So one inspiration I had for reinterpreting fighting games is to go to a game that's still about spatial manipulation, but is a lot more simple and easier to understand, like Pong, right here. Where it's still about you control an avatar and you're controlling space and you're competing against another person. But getting a little bit more complex, there's also more sports-oriented games like air hockey. But also adding a little bit more complexity there, you can get something like Arkanoid or Breakout, where you're sort of gradually like accruing points and gaining progress and building up to something by breaking down these balls and earning points, or these bricks and earning points. A more recent interpretation of this came through in Shatter, where it was also basically reinventing sort of brick breaking, ball bouncing games. So putting this all together, everything I've talked about, in the end it becomes a game with the ball. You're competing for score against another player. It's still about spatial control. You still have unique characters. It's player versus player, and you'll have basic moves and special powers. And for the sake of taking advantage of what has been established in the mobile and tablet environment, we can also offer power-ups, ways for the players to augment their gameplay performance in the game. So basically, the gameplay overview is it's like Pong, except instead of tiles, players control ground character avatars. There's goal sides on the side of each level, much like air hockey, where you have to defend it. And the controls would be simplified in basically just swipes to move around your character and taps to use special moves. Here is a proposed budget for it, which is probably overly conservative and off. But here are some visualizations of what the gameplay would be like.